It's Andy here. I just wanted to give you a quick update today on what's happening with the earned income tax credit and the child tax credit refund payments that a lot of people are waiting for right now due to the PATH Act. The IRS gave a good update that I wanted to share with you, and I'll talk about that shortly and when you can expect to see these payments or at least an update. As always, if you find the information here, please hit the like button and subscribe to keep getting updated videos throughout this tax season and into the rest of the year. So as you can see here, this is from the IRS page. I've got the source there as well. So this came out and it's not as easy to find. I was able to find it thanks to some readers, but you can see here that the IRS has provided this updated information that the tax filers who claim the earned income credit or the additional child tax credit, the remaining portion, can now expect to get their refund on March 1st. This was initially Feb 15th, potentially Feb 19th, some people had said, but it's actually now saying March 1st. And this is actually for the first batch of early filers who have cleared all their checks because it still has to be processed and approved. And I've talked about that in some earlier videos. It's also important that this March 1st date applies for those who filed online. It's always the most efficient way with the fewest errors. And you're choosing to get your refund by direct deposit. If your paper is probably going to take a few more days after that. And then the last point is important. The IRS found no issues with your return. This is a point down here I'm pointing at. This is important because people are assuming just because your um, date of March 1st comes, it doesn't mean that you'll necessarily get your refund then because it has to also pass the IRS approval, which checks several factors, not just the earned income tax credit. The good news is that some taxpayers may see their refunds a few days earlier. So this March 1st date is a guideline. I won't be surprised if there's plus or minus 4 days that they may see it. If their bank's processing is faster, that can also help. And folks who get it on debit cards can sometimes see their refunds even faster. The good news is, of course, that the IRS is saying that keep checking WMR and IRS to go, and even your transcript should update. But as you can see here, the update for that should be by Feb 19th. So just to reiterate, by Feb 19th, you should have the status of this payment or your refund updated because the entire refund, even if it's not just all related to the earned income or the child tax credit, is impacted by the PATH hold. But by Feb 19th, you should definitely be seeing an update, which is good news for many that I know check almost daily if their tax transcript has been updated. And I'll talk about your transcript where you can see your earned income tax processing that is happening even before WMR is updated. The other important point I want to highlight here in green is that if you claim the EIC or the ACTC and it doesn't pass because the IRS cannot verify your dependent, your income, or you claiming it didn't reconcile with the payments you got last year for the child tax credit, they will send you a letter. There's a lot of scamming going on for people that are desperate for this, that people are calling, they can get the information, they can't. The IRS will send you an official letter. There's also comments about people getting these payments early, especially childless workers. I've yet to see that 100% verified. A lot of people are getting advanced refund payments to their tax software provider. They paid ahead because the TurboTax or HR Block, they just assume that it's all good. That does not equal the IRS official refund. So your advanced tax credit is basically a loan from your tax software provider based on the fact they're comfortable that your refund will get processed by the IRS. But that is not the same as your IRS tax refund. So, and if that's lower, you may have to make a payment difference. So just be mindful that WMR, IRS to go, and your tax transcript are the official sources of finding out what's happening and when you get paid. So just to reiterate as well, I know that a lot of people obviously check the WMR or the IRS to go app, especially the app now is more popular on the cell phone, and the tax transcript. So I'll show you the tax transcript shortly, but this is the message a lot of people are seeing right now on the IRS to go app that the PATH Act is holding up. So by Feb 19th, this date could shift. I want to be clear here. This is just informational. I'm not a tax expert, nor do I work for the IRS. But by Feb 19th, this should update the IRS to go app, and you should be able to get a status of when your refund is going to be made or if it's held up for further processing, and there'll be tax codes that'll reflect that, tax topics that'll tell you what's happening next. I've covered that in some prior videos as well. So good news is the update should be coming for a lot of people by Feb 19th. And you can also, in fact, check the transcript. I just did a video on this a while ago that talks about how you can look at your transcript to see how the IRS is processing your return. So generally, you can't always tell the actual refund payment date, but what you can see is, using your cycle date, which I've covered in a previous video, and you can see these last lines, which is 766 was related to your child tax credit and some other credits if you're eligible for them, stimulus checks, that kind of stuff. And then 768 is your earned income credit tax code. So this tells you, I mean, the date doesn't matter. That's just the end of tax season in the IRS systems, which always seem to have April 15th, even though this year it's April 18th. Um, it just means that the IRS has processed it and is saying that you're due a 406 payment refund in this case in 835 here. There's no taxes owed here based on your filing. So this is a good sign that the IRS has processed your payment, which means once they clear the path, you should get your payment pretty soon in line with your cycle date over here. Again, this date will change potentially as well, and depending on the day of the week. And again, I look at the video here, I talked about the refund cycle date. So the tax transcript won't give you a specific direct deposit date, but it will tell you if it's been processed. And if it's not, there'll be a code that says held. But you want to see the 846 code, which means refund is paid. That's the best one. Like you can see on this screen here, this was done obviously for last tax year, the refund issued. 846 is the code you want to see. But there's other notices and other things that can happen before you get to the 846. But the tax transcript does show you a good way of seeing if your earned income and other credits have been processed, which is a great sign that you will be getting a refund. That's all I have for now. If this video was helpful, again, please hit the like button and keep subscribing. I'll post as I get more updates. Thanks.